My computer boots up so fast with a clean boot. It's ridiculous. Incidentally, my camera didn't end up sideways this time when I was introducing the episode. Also, incidentally, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Mass Effect. Last time, we finally went to Therum in order to recruit Dr. Tassoni into our party so that way she could help us decipher the cipher and the vision from the Prothean beacon. Although we didn't really get too much out of it, it's not as big of a deal because she can help us out with the whole Saren thing and probably with the whole Venezia thing as well, so that'll be useful. Today you may notice I'm down in the cargo bay, and that is because, well, not because I'm going to be talking to anybody or doing codex entries, but you may have noticed this last locker on the end here has now been filled out with Liara's stuff, because Liara isn't just an expert on the Protheans, she is also an equipable party member, the final party member of our, final member of our squad, I should say. And she's the reason why I was saving all those armors before, all of those extra upgrades and everything like that, because I wanted to make sure that she had the best stuff possible, and I didn't have to just go buy her second-rate stuff from the Alliance Requisitions Officer. Speaking of which, I probably should check with him about a better pistol for her, because I think she's the only one in the whole party without an HMW model. But yeah, I gave her my old Ursa 5 armor, I gave her my old stiletto, put the rail extension and shredder rounds on her, right? Yeah. And gave her ablative coating, gave her the Prodigy biotic amp. She also comes with an Omni tool because she does have access to the electronics line of tech, so she can use overload if she wants. But I'm basically never going to use her for tech because I already have access to tech. So if I need to overload someone's shields in order for biotics to be more effective, I'll be doing that myself. Or if, in order for me to kill them with bullets, you know, that's how that'll work. I'll do that myself, and then I'll have Liara use her biotics on them because she is a very powerful biotic specialist. She's basically like Tally, except biotics instead of tech abilities.
Looking for supplies?
I am, my good man. Let's see if you
got.
have the
You bet,
HMW model pistol now that I've reloaded the game again. You got good medium armor. I don't know if I want that for Ashley. It's probably better than what she has, although the damage protection is really low. And the tech and biotic protection isn't much better than what she currently has. He has Raikou 7. That's not bad. But yeah, see, if I had just bought stuff from him, I would have still gotten some good stuff for Liara, but I would have had to buy her Scorpion 4, which is not great. It's not as good as Ursa 5 anyway, it's slightly worse, so she would have been fine in terms of outfitting her for this point in the game, but I would rather that she be as prepared as basically anybody else in my party, and she pretty much has the same armor as Caden now, so she'll be relatively useful. I think I'm going to take her on this next mission because we have to make a quick stop off in the Fortuna system in the Horsehead Nebula before we head for the Citadel to tell Ambassador Udina. Yeah, we're not in the council yet. That's going to be a little while yet. But to tell Ambassador Udina and Captain Anderson that we succeeded on Therum and we got Dr. Tassoni, and she's now a part of our squad. She's going to help us with deciphering all of the Prothean ruins that we come across and blah 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 blah. But we also have to go to the moon today, so that's where we'll be going. But first, like I said, we're going to stop
timing, Commander.
off
We got a
at
transmission coming in from the Citadel. Top priority clearance.
probably from the council then. I guess we're going to hear them out before we stop off in the Fortuna system. What's going on here?
I'll take it in the comm room.
I guess I'll take it in the comm room. Hold on a second. We're going to go over here. You know, you guys don't need to salute every time I come through this door. You could be more productive and, like, do other things. Like, cook for us or something. We don't have a cook on this ship. How the hell do we eat?
Commander Shepard, we've received information that may be critical to your mission against Saren.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I'll take all the help I can get.
We've received an urgent message from one of our infiltration regiments in the Traverse.
You had an infiltration unit in the Traverse.
You mean spies?
Spectres tend to attract attention, Commander, but they are only one arm of the Council. Special task groups are often a better option for monitoring developing situations.
We currently have several infiltration units scattered throughout the border regions of Citadel space. This particular unit was gathering intel on Saren.
Wow, yeah, sounds pretty serious.
What did they find?
Unfortunately, the message we received was little more than static. The infiltration team must be in a situation where they can't set up proper interstellar communications.
Well, that's not good.
But the message was sent on a channel reserved for mission-critical communications. Whatever they were trying to tell us, we know it was important. Considering your interest in Saren, we thought you might want to investigate this. Find out what happened to our team. The signal originated from the planet Vermeer.
Well, if they were special tactics, I don't think that the implication that you're making when you say find out what happened to our team is as bad as as bad as you're making it sound. But thanks for the information. I'll make sure that I, actually, should I say understood? I mean, they are counselors, so I don't know if I should... Yeah, we'll go take a look.
I'll look into it.
The Council prefers not to become involved in the specifics of Spectre activities. We only want you to be aware of all your options, including Vermeer. Good luck, Commander Shepard. We will keep you advised if we learn anything else.
Thanks, counselors. So we'll go ahead and take care of that in a little bit, but first... we gotta think about this, because if... okay, so they were on a mission-critical channel. All they could get through was static. They were looking into info on Saren. Let's see where this planet that they were originating from was on the galaxy map here first, before we go and make any assumptions. Where are we right now? Okay, we're still in Theram's airspace. Let's zoom out. Presley, help me out with this. I'm going to need your help with navigating all of this. Okay, the signal originated from the planet Vermeer, which is over here in the Centauri Omega cluster. It's pretty close to the Perseus Veil. The Perseus Veil's up here. Well, it's like this arm, basically, of the galaxy, if I recall correctly. So, it's distinctly possible that that's a Geth hotspot. And we haven't seen Saren around much, like at all, since the informational meeting with the Council, before we could convict him of the crimes that he was, committing on Eden Prime and stuff. We haven't seen him around. It's distinctly possible that he came back to, he retreated towards the Perseus Veil to recruit more Geth, especially considering we blew up a large installment of them here in the Attican Beta cluster when Pharos went down. So it's possible that after the attack he went back here. This could be like a hub of sorts, a base maybe for him. How do we want to do this? Because we still have the matter of Matriarch Venezia to take care of over here. And frankly, if that's Saren's base, I imagine the communications for the STG group are not as good, but I imagine Saren has pretty good communications abilities from this planet if it's his hub like I'm saying it is, So I feel like if we go there first, he could just send for backup from Novaria if Matriarch Venezia has any backup with her, which is most likely the case, and then they could just kind of pincer attack us, and that would put us in all kinds of bad situations, so... Alright, Presley. Get together with Joker and send out a see if they can get a signal to Vermeer and let the STG group know that we will be there after we cut off their any other chances of them attacking us from behind when we get to Vermeer. Tell them until then they should hold the line, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so we already went to Strenuous. We're not going to PAX yet. We're going to go to Fortuna and just take care of this Helena Blake thingy because it's been kind of sitting on the back burner there. We're kind of doing it on and off as we do the main missions here. So we might as well go take care of it. We'll report back to the Citadel, get some information on Novaria from Captain Anderson, I think, and then we might do Crew and Codex then, because I don't really have that much to do, other than go to the moon, which I keep, neglecting to mention there. But for now, we have to explore the Fortuna system and see if we can find Helena Blake's base of operations. Starting with Magnalis, which is a rock terrestrial with an atmosphere of sulfur dioxide and trace amounts of helium. Scans reveal ancient lava plains on the surface, implying a geologically active past. The crust consists of sulfur and basalt, but the planet's mass suggests a core of iron and heavier materials. Cursory drill coring suggests the possibility of simple subterranean life. Well, that would be interesting. This is the closest planet to the Sun, though, so I find it kind of weird that it's negative 150 degrees Celsius on the surface. Kind of strange, but whatever. There was a Turian insignia in a damaged research vessel from the Rokam outpost. Do we already have all the Turian insignias? I forget. I think that's one of the ones we haven't finished yet. Next up, Thurumlan, I think. That's how you call how you pronounce it. Thurumlan, I mean, it's basically Therum with Lan at the end, but it's a frigid world with a thick nitrogen-argon atmosphere. Yeah, you can kind of see that. The horizon's pretty bright there. The crust consists of silicates and various unremarkable ores, but is surprisingly rich in phosphates. Since the atmosphere lacks free oxygen, the phosphates are relatively pure and could be of value in the manufacture of fertilizers and incendiary ammunition. Okay, well, let's see what we can find here. See if we can... Oh, we got a rare element, plutonium. Not bad. That will help, and the surface temperature here is actually less than that of a planet closer to the sun. Okay. I mean, I don't know how planets work and all that stuff, but that seems kind of weird to me. Amaranthine, or amaranthine, I don't know. I feel like I should know how to pronounce that because I think it's like Greek mythology or something like that, but it is where we need to land, so we will come back to it. Meanwhile, over here, Wentania. Hard data on Wentania is very limited. When the system was charted by the Alliance surveyor Coop, only a small unmanned flyby probe was spared for the distant world. It is a small rock and ice planet, with a trace atmosphere of krypton and sulfur dioxide. The Normandy's more detailed survey suggests the frozen terrestrial may be a suitable target for mining. While it is largely water ice, mapping of mass concentration suggests it has a core of pure aluminum. Oh, wow. It means it's probably pretty dense. I mean, aluminum isn't that heavy of a metal, but it's not nickel or anything like that, like our planet is, but it's probably decently dense, rather than just being a big old ice planet, an ice rock. But we can't do anything here for now. We'll just send a report to the Alliance. Say, hey, you guys should probably go mine that place for, water ice and stuff. Especially if Amaranthine here is, or Amaranthine, however you want to pronounce it, is being considered for colonization. I guess we'll find out right now. Ow. Damn it. Amaranthine is a chilly rock world with an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Its frozen surface consists largely of light titanium and aluminum oxides, with deposits of thorium and other heavy metals located in the deep crust. Amaranthine was named by the human poet Sofia Cabral during her tour of duty aboard the Alliance surveyor ship Coop. Under the dim light of the red dwarf Fortuna, well, that explains why the whole system is so cold, because it's a red dwarf, the surface of this world is lit in rich twilight blues and purples, even at midday. That's fancy. Probably look pretty nice once we land there. Speaking of which, let's land there right now. Alright, I want to bring Liara along because she hasn't had a chance to come along with us for any of these other missions, and I don't know if she's going to when we get to the local cluster, because I'm pretty sure that mission requires a little bit more tech expertise, especially since we're dealing with a rogue VI, so we probably won't be bringing her along for that one. I also need to level her up, so that probably takes the precedent there. And we'll bring Garrus along because I need a little more balance in the team, and Garrus fills that role nicely. I don't imagine this is going to be a quick stop-off, because I imagine that Helena Blake probably has a bunch of mercenaries waiting to kill us, but hopefully it won't have to come to that. I mean, she seemed like a decent businesswoman when we were, talking back on the Citadel, so hopefully she'll have a little more sense than to try to, screw with a Spectre. Jesus Christ. Alrighty, so there's a mineral deposit over there, and we need to go in that direction because there's some debris over there as well. But before we do that, I figured I'd go over a couple of things I just noticed when we went in here. There's this hostile takeover thing, which mentions that Helena Blake is going to give us a reward for killing off her previous, what would they be called? Partners in crime, I suppose. So she's going to give us a reward, and like I said, that reward is probably just trying to shove a gun down my throat, but I'm not going to take any chances with that. We'll make sure that we're ready for it. But we also, now that we have received this message from the council, we have this mission for Vermeer, and it turns out it was the Solarian STG that happens to be on Vermeer, and they're the ones that sent the message, so we need to go rendezvous with them, but we already sent a message to them telling them to hold the line, so hopefully they're all right. And we also have this Race Against Time mission that has now been placed here because well, we got the Vermeer mission, and we also know that we need to find the conduit before Saren does. So we need to go to Novaria in order to get the last clue for that. That's what we're going to do first, because we may as well cut off Saren's supply lines while we can from Novaria, so that way if he is in fact in a base in the Century Omega system, cluster, we'll be better off. The other thing I wanted to go over was the fact that we got Liara in the party, and I was level 37, so she had like 50-something points to invest in her, because when you get her, she doesn't have any of her points invested. So this is the spread that I put in for her talents. I mastered Warp and Singularity. Singularity is really nice. It's basically like Lift, except it brings enemies into one specific area rather than just flinging them into the ceiling like Lift does. I still worked on Lift, though, because it'll be useful when Singularity is recharging. But Singularity will bring them into a vortex, like it says, and then the further you go, the bigger the vortex becomes. And with Master Singularity, it's an 8-second vortex with 8.5 meter radius, so it's quite a large vortex, and it will drag in quite a lot of enemies that way. So, of course, the enemies have to be capable of being, lifted, so something with a high physics threshold, like a Krogan, or something that isn't affected by it, like a drone, wouldn't have that luxury, so there's that. Garrus I mastered Damping for, so he's going to be pretty good there. He's going to I'm probably going to get him to Advanced Overkill, and then I'm going to master his sniper rifle. So he'll be leveling up until level 43, so I suppose I'm planning for up to level 43 at this point, but it's not a big deal. Also, this planet seems to have a decent amount of mountains, so hopefully this doesn't end up being another Notacrux. I don't feel like doing too much mountain climbing today, but I suppose it's not going to be that much of a problem here because it looks like we got up this hill relatively easily. I don't want to say that, though, because I feel like if I say, whoa, we did run over the whatever this is. What was it? Iridium. Alrighty. Well, at least we can see my guns on the back of my weapon. At least that keeps us from not being noticeable, because this planet has the whole, all of that stuff going on. But let's keep going, because this planet is, thinking about it, this planet is rather cold, and I mentioned at the beginning of the episode that my computer was running much quicker when I was doing a clean boot. I really wish my dad would turn his phone off while I'm recording, or at the very least put it in a different room. But I mentioned at the beginning of the recording that my computer boots up a lot faster when I do a clean boot, and it's really nice. But now, my heater in this room, my space heater, is on the fritz, because apparently it's making smells when it just smells when it's heating up, so we have to be careful, because that means it's getting old and it could be melting the radiated metal inside of it, or whatever the hell it uses to create heat. The point is, it's getting old and we need to get a new one. Which is funny, because it happens to be on the day when it's like -20 with the wind chill outside. So, kind of sucks just sitting here. I mean, I guess I'm just, here for central heat, but whatever. Like, I have central heat. I'm trying to talk and do a bypass at the same time, I'm sorry. Ooh, ablative coating 7, nice. But yeah, it kind of sucks that I'm just relying on central heat right now. It makes it pretty cold down here because our central heat downstairs is not very good. But, yeah, whatever. I get the feeling my dad's phone's going to be ringing a hell of a lot while we're doing the recording. today specifically, and probably for any recordings from now on, as long as he's at home. Can't really say why, though, because it doesn't really affect anybody that's watching this. I don't think. It's just job stuff, you know. But anyway, this mountain is getting tedious to climb over because the Mako. That's the thing I find about the Mako. It has a tendency when you move this control stick, like when you're on solid ground like this, moving the control stick isn't too big of a deal, but when you're not on solid ground, like when you're on sheer cliff faces and stuff like that, it just kind of, the slightest tweak from going straight forward causes the thing to go flying, especially when you're, what's it called? Especially when you're moving downhill. That's what I was trying to get to. That's what I was trying to say. I'm just not in the zone for this stuff today. But we got a Turian insignia from the Galatana colony. Appears to be very old. Yeah, it's a beaded necklace. Probably pretty old. How are we doing on those Turian insignias, by the way? Let's see. That's Solarian metals, League of One. We need 1 more light metal and 3 more rare earths, and that one will be done. Oh, we're already done with the Turian one because it's not actually here anymore. So we just need to get the Solarian ID tags, or not the Solarian ID tags, the League of One medallions and the valuable minerals, and then those guys are done. Good, good. I feel bad because we still have that one unusual. Was it unusual readings or strange transmission, which is the one with that biotic outpost that we got on the Citadel there? I forget, but I feel bad because that one's still sitting in our on the back burner of our assignments, and it will be because basically after the session today we're going to Novaria because we need to take care of all that stuff. It's not, you know, entirely critical that we go to Novaria first. We could go to Vermeer first, really, if we wanted to, but like I said before, I don't think that's such a good idea considering what could happen if we went there and then Venezia decided to send it back up. Alright, so that looks like the base. It doesn't look guarded. I don't see anybody on the outside to guard it, but at least they have the entrance lit up for us, I think. Unless this is the back side of the thing. You know, I'm just being stupid. No, that looks like an entrance console, yeah. Alright. Liara, you haven't been here before, so you probably aren't aware. Keep your weapon ready, but don't pull it yet because I'd like to work this out civilly if I can. Just depends on whether or not they're fortified in there yet, but I suppose we'll find out about that once we go in. Once we go inside and see if Helena is around to have a little chat, because, I mean, I took care of the job for her, so maybe now we can have a talk about her criminal activities, and hopefully she'll be a little bit cooperative. I'd rather this not end violently if I could avoid it. Oh, there you are.
Hello again, Commander Shepard. I owe you a debt of gratitude.
I guess.
With my former partners dead, this syndicate is now mine. I could not have done it without you.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's true, but really my question for you is what are you planning to do now that this thing is, now that this place is yours? Because really, if you're planning on doing the same things they were doing, I can't let you get out of here without arresting you.
I killed them because they deserved it. Now I'm placing you under arrest.
Surely you don't think that necessary. Under my leadership, this organization will restrict itself to gambling and smuggling illegal technologies. These crimes are hardly worth your time. If you press the issue, my assistants are very well equipped to deal with you.
Okay, the crimes are hardly worth my time, you're correct about that, but the crimes are hardly worth your time either, because smuggling, you know, illegal technology and gambling are petty crimes. They basically won't earn enough capital to run a big organization like this. Also, you're down quite a few men, so you might want to, you know, think about this a little bit more. This doesn't have to end, and let me be clear, Helena. I worked in the red sand trade for 8 years, okay? Well, yeah, 8 years. And it's profitable, for sure. Like, you definitely make a decent amount of money doing it. But without that running your organization, I don't know if you can sustain the profits to maintain these 3 bases, first of all. And second of all, I don't think that, filling that gap with gambling and illegal smuggling, smuggling illegal technology is going to make you enough profits. This is just a capital interest thing here. So you have to think this through a little bit more.
This gang has a reputation for drugs and slaving. It's too late to change that.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps this organization has been so tainted by those 2 idiots that it cannot be redeemed.
That's what I think.
If I disband the gang, I walk away freely. I have not come so far to be arrested. I would die before going to prison. I would most certainly kill before going to prison. Now, do we have a deal?
You do realize who you're talking to here, lady. I mean, I don't want to kill you, but I'm not above it if I have to. But the point of the matter here is I'm going to be watching you.
You're free to go. I don't ever want to see this gang again. If I do...
You won't. I'm not so foolish as to break my word to a Spectre. Now, if you'll excuse me, my men become nervous in the presence of law enforcement agents.
I don't blame them.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Goodbye. Glad we could work this out with a relatively peaceful resolution. Oh, and she even gave me back my the Omni-Gel that I lost on that manual bypass. Let's have a look inside and see if we can see any of her... I don't think her men are in here. I also don't know if there's anything... Oh, yeah, her men are in here. All right. I also don't know if there's anything worthwhile to take from here, but they might get a little pissed at me for trying to take some stuff. How's it going, man? You're not going to talk to me? All right, fine. I suppose I shouldn't expect them to talk to me. They're kind of there to be... Oh, there's a medkit. They're there to be hostile, basically. So if you tell her, yeah, you're under arrest, or if you don't use a Paragon or a Renegade, a Charm or Intimidate option to take her in, she gets a little bit pissy, and then you have to kill her and all the mercenaries that she brought with her. And as you can see, she brought mercenaries that... She has a mercenary sniper. Is that a Solarian? No, that's just a bot, it looks like. It's kind of cool. I didn't know the mercenary snipers were bots. Whatever. Secure weapon locker. Sure, why not? There, that one was a little bit better. Kept my fingers on the buttons where they needed to be. Brawler 7. I don't think I've ever gotten that one before. Or at the very least, if I did, I wasn't really paying attention to it. Whoops. Let's see how it is. We got a sniper rifle too. Punisher 7. Alright, well, it's definitely not as good as the sniper rifle I have, but I think it's better than the one that Ashley has. It's Armax Arsenal, so... These are all Armax Arsenal weapons. That makes sense. It's pretty good. It's got a good accuracy rating and a lot of shots before overheat. It's better than the HMW, although the HMW is just the best type of weapon in the game anyway, so it doesn't matter. Let's see, why don't we give that to Liara? It's better than her stiletto in every way, so why the hell not? It also has 2 weapon slots, although, again, I have no idea what I'm going to put there yet. I thought about it, and I says, you know what, the combat scanner, let's just look at how that looks. Okay, so it's kind of like the HMW, but slightly less, straight black. It's more like a grayish. But yeah, I thought about it, and I'm like, the combat scanners probably wouldn't really help unless I'm planning on having people fighting from long range, you know? High explosive 7. Do I have that yet? I don't think I do. And a hardened wall safe. Alright. But, yeah, it wouldn't help anybody unless they're planning on fighting from long range, because if they're fighting short and medium range, if I can shoot at them, then my teammates can probably see them already. So I really only equip them to Garrus and Ashley, because they're going to be using sniper rifles, so they would want to have that advantage, you know? Oops, I forgot it was hardened for a second there. Almost missed that one. There we go. Ooh, 50,000 credits, not even bad. Not that I need the credits, because I have more than I'll ever need anyway, but... Thanks for letting me raid your base there, Helena. That was probably mean, huh? She's like, yeah, I'll walk away. I'll disband the gang. Now that you've basically destroyed the vast majority of the funding I could have used to rebuild it, I'll just walk away quietly. And then I go and take the rest of her funding. Whoops. Oh well. Too late to do anything about it now. I suppose I could give her... You know what? Here. Here, Helena. I took these from your thingy, but I feel bad about it. Liara, what the hell are you doing?
Rally round!
Whatever. Just ignore her. She'll be with me in a second. But yeah, here, take these back, because I feel bad about taking them from you. That still feels wrong. Just pretend like I never actually took anything from the base here, even though I still have the stuff. I say that as I was walking out of the base with Liara equipped with the new pistol that I just got for her. Whoops. Well, anyway, yeah, just... I was curious, really, because I got that option before on my first playthrough, but I never checked if the base actually had anything in it to take, so I guess I got a little curious and then got a little carried away with the fact that I could take everything, so then I took everything. My bad.